News at Noon starts right now.
Welcome in. There was a lot of rain last night, and it did wreak havoc on westbound I-70 between Sheridan and Wadsworth. A viewer, in fact, told us a mini lake formed there, and it caused him to fishtail and created a wake that lifted his car and sent him into the median, damaging his car. Thankfully, he was okay. Right now at noon, clearer skies closer to the metro area, but the fog that took over northern Colorado remains. This is a live look from Horsetooth Mountain. It still looks very foggy out there. It almost looks like Northern California. And in downtown Denver, just the slightest bit of a cloud cover out there. Looks beautiful. I feel like I see some blue skies peeking in. Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact team is with me now. Keely, what are you seeing on that radar?
Well, we're starting to see a little bit of sunshine, so that is nice, and temperatures warming into the 80s. But yeah, lots of moisture at the surface levels from the rains overnight. Lots of fog this morning, reduced visibility, and we're still seeing some reduction in visibility. If you take a look at our maps, it's certainly improving. We had zero visibility in Akron earlier this morning, but you can see still some clouds, low clouds north of the metro area. Things starting to improve, that fog starting to lift. Right now, we're at 71 degrees outside the 9 News studios. Winds out of the north-northeast 4 miles per hour. Taking a live look at our radar, we are seeing that moisture move in from the southwest. So we are seeing those showers across the southern mountains. Those will, if we get the heating, of course, a little bit slow, but by this afternoon, that afternoon heating, we'll get a little bit of thunderstorm activity, and it will push off to the east. For the metro area, just a chance for an isolated storm, but really not expecting much here. We're going to make it into the 80s by about 3 o'clock, reaching our high of 86 by 4 o'clock. But those clouds sticking around through the evening. We'll call it partly sunny because we're getting a little bit of sunshine right now. Temperatures climbing to 86 degrees. And again, can't rule out an isolated storm. It looks like most of the activity, the weather activity, staying well to the south of us. We are warmer and drier as we head into next week, and your weekend looking pretty good, although we do have some rain. We'll talk more about that coming up in your complete forecast.
Keely, thank you. The Jeffrey Epstein investigation and alleged client list continue to deepen the divide in the Republican Party. President Trump, who was in several pictures and videos with Epstein in the 1990s, has been on the attack with his supporters, trying to get them to move on from the fact that the Justice Department says there is no list to release.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
Now we've learned even one of the biggest supporters of Trump, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert of Colorado's 4th District, is now calling for names to be released and for a special counsel to look into it. She joins the loud chorus of other Trump supporters.
The Epstein files need to be released.
Mr. President, the emphasis on Epstein is truly the best intentions of your most loyal followers.
If you talk about this, I'm going to excommunicate you. Well, you're not the Pope, bro.
A poll done earlier this week shows that half of Americans are upset. Attorney General Pam Bondi said there is no list. President Trump claims that if Bondi does find any other credible Epstein information, she will announce it. The bill that will cut funding for foreign aid in the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds NPR and PBS, is closer to final approval. The Republican-led Senate passed it this morning and sent it on to the House. The passage followed a 13-hour series of votes on amendments for the package. Republicans had to pass it with a rarely used process to evade the 60-vote threshold. Senate Democrats unanimously voted no on the package, but had some help from 2 Republicans, Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. House Republicans have to get it to Trump to sign by midnight Friday for the proposed cuts to stand. Firefighters are still struggling to stop the spread of the 5 wildfires burning on the western slope. 2 of them have burned 15,000 acres each. Crews fighting the Turner Gulch fire have had the help of several firefighters from the metro. And together they have 9% of the 15,000 acres contained. Lightning started that one near Gateway in Mesa County last Thursday. The other 15,000-acre fire is Deer Creek, the one that started in Utah but spread over the state line into Montrose County. It is still just 7% contained, and fire officials fear activity could increase today with forecasted storms. The cause of this fire is still unknown. Now to the fire that's destroying the south rim of the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. It's still burning with zero containment, it has destroyed facilities within the park and continues to threaten nearby homes. The canyon's terrain has made the 4,100-acre fire very difficult to fight.
The heat from the fire itself rises up and it dries out the fuels in front of it. So it allows that preheating of the fuels, and it dries it out and allows the fire to really move up. And as it moves upwards, it gets more intensity, it makes more heat, and it just builds and gets bigger and bigger.
We have a crew at the canyon today, and we'll have more coverage coming up this afternoon on 9 News. A man who ordered potassium cyanide from an Aurora dental office in March 2023 said he needed it for a seminar he was attending. Prosecutors claim that that man was Dr. James Craig, and that he used that poison when he killed his wife. Craig is charged with murder in 2023 in the death of his wife, Angela, despite trips to an emergency room, an urgent care center, and a hospital stay. Doctors could not determine what was wrong with her. Late this morning, a representative of Midland Scientific who reviewed the order testified that she was concerned that the order came from a Gmail address and that the customer wanted to pick it up the next day. The order came from an email address tied to Craig and was delivered to his dental office. Testimony is scheduled to continue through the afternoon, and we'll have much more on 9 News at 4 and 5. A Brighton High School senior faced a judge this morning for the vehicular homicide charges he faces for the death of a father 3 months ago. Police say back in March, 18-year-old David Mendez Reyes was going 117 miles per hour when he ran a red light at 120th and Colorado Boulevard and slammed into 35-year-old Christian Santamaria's car, killing him. Officers found him naked and acting erratically. Tests later showed alcohol and marijuana in his system. Santamaria's mother says her family is devastated.
Porque mientras mi hijo está bajo tierra, él dejó a muchos niños sin su padre. Dejó a sus padres sin su hijo, a sus hermanos sufriendo. Todos lo estamos sufriendo en diferente manera.
Santamaria was a father to 8 children ranging from 2 to 14 years old. Police also say Mendez Reyes was driving on a suspended license. Homeland Security may be lifting yet another security rule when flying. Secretary Kristi Noem hinted yesterday that the size rule for carry-on liquid containers may be changed soon. Current policy restricts liquid amounts in carry-ons to 3.4-ounce containers or smaller, and they must go in a quart-sized bag. However, Noem did not give details as to if or when revisions might be made. This comes just a week after Homeland Security announced flyers won't have to take off their shoes to go through security anymore. Adams County health officials say there are now 2 human cases of the West Nile virus in the county. Health officials believe the 2 patients likely contracted the virus from infected mosquitoes in late June. The department began routine seasonal testing of mosquitoes earlier this summer, but had not found any infected ones so far. Neighboring counties have had positive mosquitoes, though. While most people infected with West Nile do not have symptoms, about 20% of infected people will have flu-like symptoms, and fewer than 1% develop a serious, potentially deadly illness.